Hello, and welcome to this week's Glasstire Top Five, which is something of a special edition this week. I am Christina Rees.
And I'm Brandon Zech.
I guess every week right now during the coronavirus shutdown is something of a special edition. Actually, tell us about this week.
So this week, anyone who's been paying attention might have noticed over the past couple weeks, I guess, really month and a half at this point, we've been publishing video tours that people, galleries, artist-run spaces, for-profit, just everything, museums, smaller spaces, rural spaces, spaces that we know and love, have sent in tours, video walkthroughs of exhibitions, and we've watched a lot of them. We've watched all of them. We've edited them. We've put them up, and we did a top 5 of them. And now we're back. Maybe as we kind of all realize that this time is going to extend a little bit. If people are putting up new shows, we hope you will continue to send us in video walkthroughs of shows. So we have a little tips and tricks, 5 ways to shoot a good video walkthrough tour.
This is not to say anything bad about any of the videos that have come in. We've been grateful for every video that's come in. And when we sent out the call, the instructions are pretty general and pretty gentle because we realize that some people have never shot a video before. And not on a laptop, not on a tablet, not on their smartphone, and they were having to do this for the first time in their lives and trying to figure out. And of course, we've done emails back and forth with people who were new at this and saying, is this okay? Will this work? Can you get this file? Is this the right size? Is it too long? What's going on? Do I need to add music? And for all of these people who are learning about this, it's terrific. And we're so glad to get your videos in. And I want to preface this. I want to say the first time I edited a top 5 video was in 2014, and it was the one called 6 Texas Public Sculptures to See Before You Die. And I was doing it with Rainey and Bill Davenport, but it was like 20 minutes of footage. I'd never edited a video before. They just threw me into the deep end. They were like, just take this and do it. And I had to teach myself iMovie, and I used YouTube tutorials to do it. It took me about 25 hours to edit that video, which is crazy because it's only a 5-minute video. But I learned iMovie, and I've used it ever since. And I've edited almost every single top 5 we've done since 2014. So it was a good experience. It was worth it. It's skills that I still use to this day. And iMovie is really the simplest editing tool. It's not like Premiere and Final Cut, which are like the big boys.
Well, and this list is also inspired by a lot of the videos that we had come in, because when we put out that call, we didn't really know what people were going to do or what they were going to send in to us. We hoped they would send video walkthroughs of exhibitions, whatever that meant. So a lot of all 5 of these recommendations are inspired by you. Thank you to those of you who have sent in videos. Right. So number 5 is it's a very basic video shooting recommendation, and it's the hardest to do on a phone because of the way you're used to holding your phone. But shoot the video horizontally. Hold your phone horizontal. It makes it a lot easier for people to see. It fills up the entire screen. Again, this is a very basic how-to kind of thing, but it's also something that I know I've forgotten whenever I've occasionally shot videos for Instagram or for anything else.
I'm not one to speak because I'm the world's worst photographer. I'm a terrible videographer. I never remember these kinds of things, but it's true that this generally yields a better walkthrough than this. Now, I do understand sometimes the instinct to do this has to do with the fact that you're zooming in on art that is vertical. Portrait format paintings or whatever you'd think just naturally you'd want to do this with. But still, if you just pull back a little and do this instead, it's going to be better for your viewer in the long run.
And don't turn it.
Don't turn it. Okay, so number 4 on our list is it's kind of just a wish that we had for some of the videos we have where we have a hard time getting a context of what the whole space looks like. We love it when people send us a video, and it really is a video walkthrough where we get a sense of what the physical space is, how big it is, the walls, the floors, the ceilings. And that doesn't mean that you've got to like pan all around and show us the architecture. It really is just like stepping back from the work enough for us to get just a sense of what it's like to stand in that room. You don't have to spend a lot of time doing it. In fact, Brandon, you were talking about the yard dog video, which was nice because it's like, and actually Spellerberg projects to this, like, what is it to just like walk into the space and then you're oriented if you're American. And that's good. That just helps your viewer feel more grounded as they're watching the video.
And I mean, right now, as we have an increasing separation from the spaces that we know and love, or even the spaces that we haven't visited yet, it's just nice to be able to feel like you're actually going somewhere.
So number 3 actually kind of is in a weird extension of that, like our wish to go somewhere. Another thing that we're yearning for is human contact, human elements. So a human element in your video is great. It's not necessary. We have beautiful videos that have come in that have no narration. They use music or nothing, or they just let the ambient sound happen and we're just looking at the art, and that's fine. And for some videos, that's really appropriate. But I've really enjoyed videos where we see the gallerist or the curator or the artist, at least for a minute, or we hear their voice and they're doing narration. And kind of walking us through the show. I mean, Dennis Nance doing it in Galveston, Julie Webb doing it for the Webb Gallery. That was so nice. It was great to see Michelle Smith walk us through the Rosemary Cantu show at K-Space Contemporary down in Corpus Christi. So again, Lucia Simak walked us through the Barry X Ball show at the Nasher with text by Jed Morse. So this kind of thing it makes it that much more meaningful for people sitting at home. And Carrie Inman did the recent Inman one. That was so nice to hear her voice. Remember, we're the ones editing this too. So for me to get to hear people's voices is nice. To get to see people, to get to see Giovanni Alderis in the Fort Worth Contemporary Art Center ones is always good. It's like, oh, there's my friend.
So kind of a subset of this almost is have an artist do it. Like, I'm thinking of maybe one of our early favorites, the Hillebrand and Magsamen video, where the video is kind of an artwork unto itself. It talks about the work and it is a walkthrough with the artists. But an artist kind of talking about their own work, it's not always the easiest thing for some artists, but there's ways for an artist to do it where they can kind of, I don't want to say hide behind something else, because Hillebrand and Magsamen in no way were hiding behind their performative element, but there's a way to do it where there's a mitigating factor where it's not an artist on camera during the headlights.
Right.
And working with your artist to figure out what that is, it can actually be, we're all looking for new types of projects right now. So that can actually be a really interesting and fun project.
Or if it's an artist-run space, even if they've brought in a guest artist, these artists who are young and good with new media can put together a nice-looking video. The Co-opt guys up in Lubbock did a great job with that video, which we brought up on a previous top 5, a recent top 5. So sometimes an artist is making the video even if it's not their artwork.
So number 2 this is a good principle. It's kind of like the golden rule, I think, of making like a creative thing and putting it into the world, is make a video that you'd want to watch. We, by Glasstire, kind of live a different principle of this, which is write a piece that you would be interested in reading. You're kind of always your own best audience, because if something is going to bore you, then why even do it? So make a video that you would find interesting. That doesn't mean it needs to be decked out and everything. That doesn't mean it needs to be over the top fun, but I don't know, have a little fun with it. Throw something in that brings it kind of out of the mundane, especially if you put up another show, or if you're doing more than one of these, make them all different from each other. They're already different from each other because the work is different, but kind of differentiate. Each artwork, each exhibition has its own feel, so kind of make the videos mirror that a little.
Another thing, and this is an aside, not all of these videos are exactly 5 minutes long. In fact, very few of them are. We have one video from Pressa House that's 25 seconds long. We have a video from Lawndale that's 11 minutes long. I'm not going to police that. So number 1 on our list, I don't think that you're going to be too surprised about this, is show us the art. Like, really show us what the art looks like.
I had written down, I had art glamour shots, because this kind of, it parallels a little bit with showing us the space, like zoom out, zoom in. One of my ideas about this series was I we kind of drew inspiration from it, or at least in my mind, from the YouTube channel of James Colm, who is this New York artist, critic who kind of turned into the video walkthrough of New York exhibitions. He's been doing this for years. Museums just let him do it, but he is just kind of unabashed. He has his camera and he just walks up and like gets in the art.
Yeah, they let him get in there now because they know him. But you can do this in your own space, obviously. Another thing here's just a bonus thing. If you're in iMovie or any video editing sort of application or software, and you can drop some titles in there, you don't have to do it for each artwork. We're just talking about dropping in the name of the artist or the name of the show or the name of the space. A lot of people who've sent in videos have done this. There are many examples of it. I'll show you a couple, but that's helpful. If you haven't done it and you haven't shown us wall text or mentioned the name in a narration, we'll drop a title in at the beginning of the video. But it's great if you do it. You could do it in whatever style you like. It doesn't have to be our sort of very basic iMovie Glasstire thing. So,
those are the tips.
Those are the tips. And I was gonna say, we hold ourselves to not such a high standard with in terms, like we're shooting with, just on our and it's fine. This is a top 5 video. This is how, and well, of course, we're also in lockdown, but we do want to see the art, and we do want to see your shows, and we are still getting videos in. And if you're being patient and waiting for your video to go up, thank you. It will be going up soon because we're doing this as they come in. And it's exciting to get every single one of them. We're very, very pleased to see them.
And with that, we're no longer saying go see some art because we're not going anywhere, but log on and see some art.
See some art.